happening. Oh my God, it says we're live. Okay, that's exciting. So I'm still here. I'm talking to you. We're going to do the thing, but the goal is we're going to do a bit of everything together. So you'll see me looking at you. You'll see me looking here, but mostly I'm here for you, here for questions, for whatever we want. So we are live streaming on YouTube right now. This is our first attempt, so we haven't told anyone about it. So like this is like stealth live stream, live but no audience. That's kind of how I like it. Yeah, exactly. At some point, I feel like I might have to turn around just so you lovely people can wave, so that they see I'm not just like talking to a brick wall. So, but I just want to make sure, do we have enough space to start off with? Are we okay? Do we need another picnic table? We're good for the moment? Okay, awesome. You guys are good? Fabulous. Okay, someone's already watching? What? Was it you? It's you. Oh, wait a second, it's Cupid. Oh, damn, I thought we had a viewer. Okay. All right, so actually, let me just double check that that my mic, I wonder if this mic is working. Is the mic working? Hold up.
Yeah, it was. I was getting feedback, so I had to turn it on.
Okay. It's working? Yeah. You can hear me? Okay.
I'll take it in the other room for just a second.
Yeah, okay. So I've got my tech back up here. Okay. So, I mean, this is the point of doing a stealth live stream that no one knows about. We can screw up all of the stuff. It doesn't matter. Okay. So, hi everyone. Welcome. It's nice to see some friendly faces. Before we get started, actually, I'm going to ask all of you to introduce yourselves across the table to make sure you all know each other's names. So let's do a little round of introductions so everyone knows. So just introduce yourself in your little tables. So hello, introduce. Do you want to do introductions? Do you feel left out? Sure, I'll do introductions. So hi everyone, I think I've met everyone here. If I haven't, it's nice to meet you. My name is Lulu. My full name is Lulu. Well, my full skate name is LuluDemon. I'm one of the co-founders of Roller Skate Club, and I've been teaching roller skating and roller derby for a very, very long time. And also, little known fact, one of my first jobs when I was in Vancouver, fresh off the boat from England, was working for Rollergirl. So I worked for Rollergirl.ca, where they had a teeny tiny little shop off Clark Drive, and that's where I learned all the stuff about roller skates. I will just say that I am not a roller skate expert, as my friends who came to Brews and Bearings found out the other week when they were like, now what do you do when you take the cover off your bearings and take your ball bearings out? And I was like, oh, I don't really know. I just buy new bearings. So I have a rudimentary knowledge of skates. And I'm happy to share with you. And then if there are any geeky questions that come out of it, I know where to send you. Okay. So let's get started with just talking about skates. The plan for the workshop today is we're going to talk about adjusting our trucks. So we're going to talk about why you adjust your trucks, how you adjust your trucks, and then one of the things, and actually this came out of the Brews and Bearings that we did, is one of the best ways to know whether you want to adjust your trucks or not is to adjust them and then skate on them. So that's why I've left us with all this big skating space today, because what I thought we would do is do some little adjustments, try them out. I'm going to put some cones out so we can feel the turns and stuff like that, and then we can come back, adjust them some more, see how we feel. And if anything comes up, any questions, then we can be like, oh, this feels good, but this doesn't. It's kind of the best way to test your trucks. So that is the plan for today. Feel free to settle in, make sure you've got some drinks or some snacks, whatever you need. So let's get started. Okay, so roller skates. I have my roller skates right here. Now, first thing to know is all of your trucks are going to be a tiny bit different. So actually, before we get started, I'm going to put my skates down here. Let me go around. I just want to see. So can you just show me the bottom of your skates? And I just want to go around and I want to see where we got. Okay, I don't want to do those ones. Perfect. Because Because here's the thing: is all trucks are different, and you can really mess up your skates if you don't know how to adjust them properly. So one thing that I do know is if you ever started in our rental skates, those brown skates, the plates that are on those, so not the newer ones that we bought, the old ones that actually, okay, I'm going to tell you a funny story. So we got those in 2018, and we just got really lucky. Someone from the community center in Hope contacted us because someone knew someone through something. They knew we were into roller skating. They were like, we found 100 pairs of roller skates in a storage locker. We didn't even know they were there. They've been there for like 30 years, and we just need the space. So, why don't you send in a bid for how much you would like pay to buy them? And we basically bought 100 pair of roller skates for like $100.
Whoa.
But really, we also turned up. Yeah, here you go. Oh, they're so beautiful. And actually, okay, so cool thing. If you actually look on the bottom of the skates, I don't know if this one has them, but this one says HAS, but a lot of them say Hope scratched into the bottom, which is actually kind of cute. So they're kind of special. Anyway, and then I turned up in my Honda Element. We drove to Hope in my Honda Element. And I was like, we can for sure fit them in my Element. Took 3 trips. So, and like they were all just like piled. They were just like thrown in the back of a closet. And like half of them didn't have like friends. We had to find the friends. And then we basically spent the last 2 years trying to like keep them alive because like all the components were falling off. But so interesting thing with these ones. So these are an old. Let me just thank you, Cupid, for bringing these around. It's beautiful. This is perfect. So, and this might be for someone watching who's not here that has an older pair of roller skates. If you do have like an old pair of rental roller skates, or if you have a friend that has a pair of old roller skates that they found at like a thrift store or something, a lot of the old plates were made so that they actually have this nut really close to the edge of the plate. And what they realized and why they stopped making plates like this is actually if this nut gets loose, the whole truck falls off. So it doesn't even matter. It can be tight at the bottom, but if you see a space in that nut that's closest to the plate, like literally you could be skating along, the whole truck can fall off. Very dangerous. So they don't make plates like this anymore. But if you did have one, what you will want to do to adjust these is you actually need to adjust this part to loosen it, then adjust the truck, and then make sure that nut right there is tightened. Because that's when shit goes wrong, okay? But luckily, plates have moved on. We don't have that anymore, so we're good. So we don't have to worry about this anymore. So, simple stuff for these skates. So, yes, absolutely. Yeah. So you can do both. Yeah, you can either take a slotted screwdriver, or I'm pretty sure just the regular truck nuts will sit like the regular adjustments do. Or actually, no, this one doesn't. Yeah, it does. So yeah, it's still the same size, but yeah, you can use a screwdriver on this one. Yeah, and same thing for the toe stop as well. Use a screwdriver on that in there. So yeah, good question. Thanks, assistance. Okay. So let's just talk really quickly anatomy of a skate. So this is your plate. So the metal thing that goes directly on the bottom of the shoe-looking part is called a plate. Okay? And then this whole mechanism, 1 and 2, are called your trucks. Okay? So when we talk about adjusting our trucks, we're talking about adjusting this whole mechanism right here. Okay? So on your trucks, you've got your wheels attached to your trucks, but your wheels can come off your trucks. So your trucks can also come off your plate as well. So something to know about that is, I don't know whether you'd necessarily want to replace trucks on a plate, but maybe you would. But the cool thing about this is the truck itself has all sorts of really interesting components in there. And it's the trucks that give roller skates that beautiful movement that you don't find anywhere else, right? So it's the trucks that are also the same as what you'll see on the bottom of skateboards. And that's where you get that like smooth movement from, okay? So having your trucks properly set up, adjusted, the right cushions, everything set up is going to make a huge impact on how you feel on your skates. This is sort of like one of the main things that you can change that will make an impact into how your skates feel. Okay. Everything else, like the wheels, will be more like, how much grip or how much like slide you get on each surface, or like if you're outdoors and you want outdoor skates, like how much vibration you get. Your toe stop, obviously, how you feel when you're using your toe stop, but your trucks are really the thing that, like, when you're turning, you're gliding, whatever you're doing, your trucks are being like activated. Okay. Anyone have any just like burning questions about trucks? Because I don't want to talk all the time. Yeah, I love it. Yes, yeah. Yeah. Totally. Okay, cushions. I love cushions. Okay, so cushions, if you don't know what they are, if you look at your trucks, they're the little gummy plastic bits in between. So if you're looking right here, you've got the metal, and then you've got that plastic, and everyone's cushions will be a bit of a different color. Okay. And they'll all look a bit different. So I kind of like, some of them look, I always kind of like, they look kind of like candy. Like they look like gummy candy, a lot of them. So, and actually, one of the best ways, and this is what Rolla Girl told me, one of the best ways to check the hardness of your cushion is actually to bite them. So like if you get, I wouldn't recommend going in and like biting all the merchandise in the store, but she's like, actually, if you want to know which ones are squishier, just give them a little chew. So like obviously the new ones, if you have it, but you can actually you can feel the hardness just by like giving them a little squeeze or a little bite. So in terms of your question about what cushions to use, so when you first get your skates, everyone kind of gets generic standard cushions. They won't be the same. So like if it's a different brand, you'll have different cushions. Do you know what I mean? So I will say that the cushions are one of the things that manufacturers will cheap out on because most people don't know the difference. So often the cushions that you get, especially if your roller skates were more affordable, can often be not very great. And when I say not very great, what that means is that they're kind of like, they're like harder plastic with no squishy bounce to them. Yeah, exactly. So definitely some of the cushions that are like not clear and are like more like flat colored, you can kind of tell, right? Like they look like kind of like cheaper plastic, honestly. But here's the thing. So, what I would say in terms of cushions is start off with adjusting your trucks and seeing if that gives you the movement that you want. If you feel like it doesn't, then I would say change your cushions. I wouldn't say change your cushions off the bat unless you're like, I just want to play around with some stuff and like see what happens. So one of the best descriptions of cushions, and I talked about it last time, that I've ever had is from my wonderful friend Dirty Deborah Harry, who is like amazing. She's wonderful. And if you haven't yet watched her YouTube videos, you should. She's fabulous and hilarious. And yes, she is that funny in real life. I got to like travel and do some coaching with her and share a bedroom. And all I did was just laugh the whole fucking time. It was awesome. Anyway, but like she is like, she knows all of her shit when it comes to skates because she's worked in the skating industry. You know, she's a rep for Show Grip, and like her family's own drinks and stuff like that. And she gave me this amazing analogy for cushions, which is you want to imagine that cushions are like little people under the sole of your feet. And when you move your skates from side to side, they're like flexing and pushing and flexing and pushing. And that's basically what you've got under your feet is like these little people flexing and pushing. And when the like little cushion people are not very, like they're a little sad, they're a little like tired, like they're old, or they might be like maybe not great to start off with, then you kind of get these like little people that are like, meh, I'm lazy, I'm not really going to do much for you. I'm not like pushing and pulling, right? Like this, or like, well, it's not pushing and pulling, it's more like contracting and then pushing back, because it's like that like elasticness is going. So Everyone, in terms of cushions, everyone is different. If you go to Rollergirl, they can give you a recommendation for the cushions, or like a good local skate shop. They can give you recommendations for the cushions that will fit your trucks, because not all cushions fit the same trucks. And then also, a lot of what they will ask you is like what type of skating you're doing. And also they will look at your body type as well, because if you are a lighter person, then you want cushions that are very springy and elastic. But if you're a heavier person, then you don't want them to be like pushing down and pushing up so much. Does that make sense? So it's really, really a personal thing. And definitely if you're looking for cushions, whoever you're buying them from, someone should be asking you probably like, what are you doing it for? And then what is your height and weight? Yeah, so it's cushions. So let's talk about just adjusting trucks first. So some simple stuff for trucks is the looser they are, the more movement you're going to get. And by movement, what I mean is if I put my skate on the ground here, when I put my weight from one side to the other, they're like trucks. They're like, and as you can probably see it a bit more, you can see them kind of like squishing and moving, okay? And flexing is the right word. Flexing. So the best way, so start off if you want, just by putting your skates kind of here, and you can stand up if you want, and you can just kind of like push. And what I would do is I would look down at the skate and see if you can see the wheels, especially the front ones, moving backwards and forwards. Because what you'll be seeing, like if I go to the left, my left wheel comes back and my right wheel comes forward. So it's a bit hard to see, but like if you look down right above and really push down, you want to push down pretty hard. You should see. Okay, so if they're not moving, that probably means that that your trucks are pretty tight.
Okay. I think that's what Rollergirl said, at least for mine, was like the front trucks are tight and the rear ones are looser.
Okay.
Like that's the default.
Okay, sounds good. And yes, and that's also what I was going to say is, when you first get your skates, you want your trucks tight, because tightness means stability. Because when you loosen them, it's like standing on a wobble board. And like if you're starting off to learn to skate, you're just still mastering the like basics. You don't want to have to be freaking standing on a wobble board at the same time, right? So tight is good. So it's not like tight is bad. And definitely as we like adjust and play around with these, if you feel like your skates are like swirly, that shouldn't feel good. Or if it doesn't feel good, go back to tighter, right? There's no right looseness or tightness to trucks. Everyone's different. Everyone likes their trucks differently. Like I can't wear Rollergirl skates. Like she lent me her derby skates once, and I was like, holy shit, this is terrifying because they're so loose. I was just like, I like looked one way and my skates were like, go. I was like, I don't like this. I like more control over the things on my feet. Okay, so it's not like professionals have loose trucks and beginners have tight trucks. No. And then depending on what you're doing, like if you're doing like artistic skating and you want like tighter trucks for like nailing maneuvers, you have the tight trucks. On the skate park, you don't want your skates too loose because you don't want to like actually turn a little bit and then catch something and then suddenly you're off the ramp. So actually, I remember Rollergirl, actually, we were in the skate park one time and I was riding the ramps and she was like, Lulu, your trucks look too loose. You want to tighten those up. So there's differences for whatever you're doing, like in terms, so it's like personal preference, but then also like, what am I doing? What's safe? So definitely like for flatland maneuvers, whether you're doing play class or derby or something like that, you want a little bit of movement. You want some maneuvering. Skate park, you might actually want them a little bit tighter because it can like, you don't want shit to go down in the skate park. I want to know where my skates are at all times because the land is moving, okay? So let's talk about the things. Okay, so another way, and we're going to do this right now, to check the tightness of your truck is to use your thighs as a vice. Okay, this is actually the best way to check it. This is kind of useful if you just want to like play around with it, but actually the best way to actually feel how tight or how loose your trucks are to take your skates and to stand up and to put them in between your legs like this. So stand up, feel free to get out of the, yeah. I'm gonna move this out of the way. Yeah. So stand up. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use our legs as a vice, clamp them here. We're going to use our hands. We're going to put them either side of the plate here. And then you're going to use the palms of your hand to push down on the wheels and start seeing if you can feel movement. Push and pull. Okay. And if you want to feel the bottom ones, best trick to do is actually take these out, flip it around. Now do the bottom ones. It's going to be much easier. There you go. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Everyone is a little different. So I wouldn't say there's necessarily any standard, to be honest. What I was told is you kind of want them around the same. You kind of want them similar. I mean, here's the thing as well. It's really hard to tell with them not on your feet actually how loose or tight. But if you notice that the front or the back is significant, if you're like, whoa, that is super, super loose, that's when you'll notice it. Do you know what I mean? You won't really notice tiny, tiny degrees. That makes sense? Yeah. And also, in terms of where your weight is on your skate, it's going to feel a little bit different, right? In terms of how much flex you're getting in each area. Okay. Any questions so far? Anything that's what's happening here? Okay, let's do some adjusting because this is the fun time. Okay, so here's what I'm going to recommend. I would recommend that everyone does a mini adjustment on their trucks. We're all going to do the same. Then we're going to put our skates on and skate and see how that feels. Some people are going to be like, shit, I don't like that. Some people are going to be like, this is great. Other people are going to be like, I don't feel a thing. Nothing's changed. Okay. Then we're going to go back and we'll play around with them. Okay. So grab a tool if you have one. I have a couple of extras and there's some more up here if you need them. What you want for your trucks is, I don't even know what size this one is. If you have one of these tri tools, it's here we go. 9/16. Thank you very much. 9/16. Okay, basically I know it's it's the middle one. The small one is for your wheel nuts. And the big one is for skateboards and not for us. And the middle one is for trucks. Okay. And then if you have a T tool, you should be fine. It should be so this T tool is the same, except for the T tool, it's going to be this big one on this side. That's going to be the one. And it's going to, whatever it is, it has to fit right over the nut on the bottom. Okay. Here's one thing I will say is that if you have the tool, sometimes you get free tools with your skates. I know that there's a little almost looks like a little crab one. Yes. Yeah. Invest in a proper tool because that shit is not going to get you anywhere. Because you can't get any torque on it. So it's really hard. In a pinch, it's fine.
You can bend,
you can bend it
because they're made of aluminum. You can actually bend it with your own arm strength.
Yeah. Yes, true. You can get in with the toe stop, but I would definitely recommend get either a T tool or a tri tool or which is my favorite. Someone's got the one with if you have that one there. Can I borrow that one? If you have a toe stop that has a nut on the end, this is a really good tool. I love this, the Power Dine tool, because this one has exactly all you need. It's got the truck, it's got the wheel nut, and it's got the toe stopper tool as well. I like those. Okay, so you're going to grab the tool. You're going to make sure one end of whatever you have fits over the nut. And now I'm really bad. I get confused with my left and my right. Exactly. So here's what you want to do. You want to take your skate and you want to put it down right in front of you here. So it's looking at you. So the trucks are looking at you, okay? And then when the trucks are looking at you, then you're going to take your tool and you're going to do, let me get the right one. You're going to do a half turn to the left. Okay, so this is lefty-loosey. So if you've got a tool like this, it's basically you're just going to replace like that, half turn, half turn. Half turn, half, my Britishness is coming out. A half turn. I'm gonna do a half turn here. Yeah, exactly. Y'all gonna do a half turn to the left. And you're gonna do it on both skates.
And both sets of wheels?
Both sets of wheels. There we go. Nice, nice. Good job, everyone. Very brave.
Too much.
That's fine. Half a turn. Do half a turn.
But they should.
So
Mine were not even, so I should also probably
yeah,
make them even.
sure. Yeah, let's do it. Make them even.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Now here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna skate. So put your skates on. Put your gear on if you want. We're gonna take it super easy. I'm gonna set up some cones so that we can do some weaving and feel. Please, I would just say, don't anyone kill themselves on any of the the wires that are coming here. Head that way. Yes, head that way. Okay. All right. Let me grab.
But it can be done.
Because the main thing that you're gonna feel with adjusting your trucks is the turning.
I actually want to swap out my cushions.
Sure. Let me show you how to do that.
Cool.
Yeah, totally. Thank you. Yeah, nice to see you. How's that feel? Anything different? Yes, no?
I didn't mean to be honest. It feels good, except that I'm probably bleeding, so I'm gonna put different socks on.
Okay, let's not do that. Let's not hurt the feet. How do I feel?
They look absurd.
Okay. So definitely try the turning and then try you show around try and do Definitely, if you go, loosen it a little bit more. Yeah, definitely. Good. Can you feel the difference? Do you think it's enough, or do you want more? Think it's enough? Okay, perfect. Let's stop then. That's good. We'll stop there.
Maybe in the future I can.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Do you definitely you don't want to go too loose, because if you go too loose, it can feel a bit like you have no control. So I definitely recommend like just doing a little bit, trying, and then if that feels good to you, just stay there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will get one.
Yes, and the tool is always good. Yeah.
How, like, do we have to, is there a point at which this is going to be so loose that it comes off, or will it be very obvious?
Okay, so that's a really good question. So what I was telling to those folks that just left is you still want to have, so you can keep loosening it, but you still want to have contact. Like if this rattles, like no, it's too loose. Like it should, like actually, and the like shake test is a really, really good test. Like if you ever want to safety test your skates, just shake them, and if you hear anything rattle, it means something loose. And you don't want loose things. Loose is bad when it comes to skates, okay? Because it could mean that like your toe stop is loose, or your wheel nuts are loose, and your like wheels are bouncing around. So you still want to have contact. Another thing to check as well is you want to make sure there's at least like 1.5 or at least one good thread of this kingpin here. So that's the like, so you can see there's that nut on the bottom, and then you can see, yeah, exactly that coming through.
So if I can see that, we're probably good.
We're getting, you're good. You probably don't want to loosen anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because it's going to kind of come off the end here.
Are some cushions thinner?
They're not necessarily, no, they're not thinner, but they flex more.
Okay.
So
So then
if
you
you-
can tighten them more, but you'd still get it. Got it.
Exactly. Yes.
This is just a marketing pitch for me to go by.
Well, here's the best thing about cushions, though, is they are cheap as chips.
Yeah, they're like $20.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of times people will be like, oh, I need new skates, or I need new wheels, or something like that. And it's like, have you changed up your cushions? Because, like, it's probably one of the, like, most inexpensive things you can do that can actually have, like, a radical, like, difference on your skate. And wheels are way more expensive than cushions. Skates are way more expensive than cushions. You know what I mean? So, yeah, try the cushions.
Do they have a lifespan?
So Dirty Deborah Harry tells me that I should change my cushions at least once a year. I don't think I've ever done that, but I see where she's coming from, because it also depends how much like wear you're putting on them, right?
And
Like
probably also if you're in the sun with them.
sun, definitely. So it's the same as wheels because they're urethane. Like if it's hot and dry, and if you leave them in the sun, they will dry out and get brittle, just like anything that's kind of like urethane, squishy plastic. So it really depends in terms of lifespan. It depends what you're using them for, how aggressive you're being on them. If you're leaving them out in the sun. But yeah, definitely make sure when you're loosening them that you're not loosening them past that like kingpin, so that you do just have a thread or so.
I'm going from two of these to ones with conical.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Is that how they're going to
Exactly. So the cones, I call these rods and cones. I don't
Yeah.
know actually what they're called, but anyways, that's what I like. So yeah, exactly. So they're going to go on the bottom like that, same as mine. So yeah, the conical one goes on the bottom, and then the flat one goes on there. And then you have these little washers, whatever they're called, to fit. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Does your
Yeah. No, you're good.
there is a space between this plate and one of the
I guess so.
There's a space between here. You also have the space? Yes, I do. I just saw it and then I was wondering, it made me nervous. But they both have because I'm just looking at others.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited.
definitely feels squishier than the stock.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you wanted to, you could, like, give these a little chomp. I mean, those old ones might be a little gross, but like, you told me to bite them. She did. Lisa told me to bite them.
I can absolutely imagine Lisa putting a
Yeah,
cushion in.
I know. She did that. She did that. I was like, okay, sure, I'll try. And you can also, yeah, so there are different hardnesses, and the different colors correspond to the different hardnesses. I couldn't tell you which one was which, but I know that the colors denote things. Yeah. How? Orange is middle of the road? Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. You still don't have maneuverability. Okay, so you've loosened them off, but they're still not quite as turny as you'd like them.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go too loose with my tracks.
Yeah.
So
That's all right.
I'm trying to find that happy medium.
Yeah, totally.
But,
Do you mind taking a seat? Can I just take a look and see? I'm just curious. Oh, okay. First I have to ask consent to straddle your leg. Is that all right? Okay, because if you ever ask me to like check your skates, this is the easiest way to do it. So sorry, don't mind me. I'm gonna do this.
Are you catching that?
Yeah, I can get out of it.
You can try going looser. Really? Yeah, those are still pretty tight, and I can see a lot of threads.
Yeah.
So try another half turn.
Okay. Is that one?
Especially, yeah. I'm not doing good looking at the thread. Yeah. I feel like this one on the back has more threads showing than this one.
Okay.
So actually, I feel like this one actually looks pretty good. This one, actually, when I look at it, could maybe go a little bit. Oh, is that a good way to tell? I mean, yeah, it's a way. I mean, the thing is, the front and back will be a little bit different. Also, how the cushions break down and stuff like that. So, but generally, it's a marker of like how loose, like you can go looser, right, when those threads showing. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Are those very new cushions? A few months old? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've kind of been playing with it to try to get myself the way I want it. Yeah. Sometimes they do feel a bit swirly. I'm like, oh, this feels like I can.
Okay.
But I also I changed the wheels really recently.
Okay. So then you've probably got a little bit of slide going on there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Everything is different, which is fun, but
Yeah.
unpredictable.
Yeah. Fun but unpredictable, exactly, for sure. Yeah. Awesome. All right. I'm gonna just pop this back on me. All right. Okay. How are these feeling? Do you want? Are they good?
I'm happy with them.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
They're also all the same now, and they were not.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah.
That'll be
See
fun.
how that feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to share.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. How is doing? A little bit. Every little move, the way to different places, just like exacerbated, like you're like in a rap, shit like that. So I'm not like, oh, well, you
I like them. One's really good rental skates. But then in practice today, other people had fun, crunchy noises, and I didn't have maybe it's just that I didn't have enough. Like maybe the trucks weren't loose enough to actually thread.
But yes, so like if you're looking at the I like to do it all the way.
Yeah. Nice. So you're good. But is that too loose? Like that looks crazy. Totally. I mean, everyone's different. As I said, like roller girls are like that.
Yeah, I just don't want to turn it too much on the wheel nuts because you don't want to.
I mean, as long as they're not going to drop off. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Her real name is Lisa. She owns the store. Yeah. Yeah. That's Rollergirl. Yeah. She's awesome. Yeah. I didn't realize that was. She's Rollergirl.
The world of cushions.
Is changing cushions
Yeah, it's really
take
straightforward.
everything out, pay
Yeah.
attention to where they go, and then put them back?
Exactly. Basically, if I can do it. Like, I'm not technical. so that's true. That's a good point. I am great at changing my cushions. Thank you very much. I should not talk myself down. Thank you for the reminder. So yeah, 100%. I know, but it's not what we talk about here. So you're right. Thank you for.
Eventually, if you do enough, people will be like, she shouldn't be leading the workshop.
That's true. Yeah. Can we get rid of her? Can she just go?
No, probably
She
not.
knows
Probably not.
nothing.
Owner.
Yeah, exactly.
Etc.
No, I would tap myself out. Be like, I'll just be over there drinking beer. So yeah. All right.
We had a question about wheels over there and tightening nuts, so I just showed her about tightening wheel nuts.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you were going to talk about it also, but
Not necessarily because we were talking about trucks, but yeah, just so that they spin. So yeah.
there was
thank
a
you.
couple that were not on hers that were not
Oh yeah.
totally free moving.
Oh, okay. There we go.
And all the things.
Found all the things. So yeah, definitely. So if you're changing, to change cushions, as you said, like basically what you'll get is you'll get the little plastic parts in a little bag. The difference you might have
Yeah, yours
is,
are like cones.
exactly is the cone thing. And if you get the ones that are cones, just make sure you get the washer that fits them.
And then
So it's a little bit smaller.
are they like cone this way, then cone that way?
Yeah.
Or only the top ones?
It's only the top ones. So yeah, the ones closest to the plate are always kind of like that oblong shape. And then yeah, the ones at the bottom will be that cone shape, and then you just need to get a different size washer. So yeah, that one will be too big.
Okay.
But they normally if you tell the skate shop that you're replacing flat ones, they'll just give you the washer because it's very common. They
Very
don't-
convenient that
It's,
you've
I
done this for
know,
us.
very convenient. I know exactly.
If I had to drive across town, no.
I know. I got you.
For shipping, no.
So one thing I want to talk about really quickly before we go is pivot cups, because I learned the hard way. I'm going to set myself up here. About you need to keep an eye on your pivot cups, which are also part of your trucks, and also will lead to how squishy and movie your trucks are. The very technical terms I have here. Okay, so squishy and movie. So you have two pivot cups, and they are at the pivot point of your trucks. So if you look at your trucks, so let's take the back one. So you've got this like bar coming off the back that goes into the heel. You'll notice that where it goes into the heel, there should be a little piece of plastic. And if you look in, you should be able to see that little piece of plastic that it goes into. Okay? So let's have a look. Yep.
Yeah, the black piece there. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Now, here's when you will notice your pivot cups, is if they burst and explode, which they can do. So if you ever look and you look at that at the back of your truck or the front of your truck, right? Because you've got a pivot right at the front and at the back. If you ever see a piece of plastic kind of poking around, like kind of looking like it's trying to like reach out and be like, I want freedom, you know that your pivot cups have burst. Or basically what's happened is you've worn them through with use. And actually I saw Whips had this the other day, is basically her pivot cup just kind of like, it just like exploded and just decided to vacate because it was like, fuck this, I'm done. Now the challenge is if that piece of plastic disappears, it is very easy for this to go boop and pop out. And I've seen that happen. So even if your truck is tight, if your pivot cup is either like worn through or exploded or come out, and it comes out when it's like broken and it can't come out normally. It comes out when it's like basically you've worn it through so much that it's like crumbled and decided to leave you. But what I have seen is I've seen trucks come popping out so that they kind of like dangle. So this part is still attached, but the pivot has like popped out.
You can also damage the truck. Like I've seen
Yes.
trucks that get damaged from just the metal wearing on metal. It
Yeah.
just like changes the shape of that
If
hole.
the pivot cup is gone.
Yeah, the
And
pivot
you can
cup
get
is gone.
replacements.
Yes, again.
And those are
super
like
cheap.
a buck,
Yeah.
I think. They're ridiculously
Yeah.
cheap.
They're super cheap. So you only need to check it. You'll see if you start seeing like wear or like bits of it kind of like crumbling and stuff like that.
And what you saw,
yeah.
like that was for somebody extended amount of time.
Totally. They,
Yeah.
had-
Not
they
like 15
clearly had
minutes
not
on it.
looked at their pivot caps in like years
Yeah.
and had been skating and were like, oh, hey, look at that. I guess
Yeah.
I need to
And that's
repair my
sort of
truck.
honestly what happens as
Yeah.
well. Like, yeah, totally. It wasn't me, but I've seen other people. But I mean, to be honest, you wouldn't know. Like, it's a kind of funny little piece of hardware. And yeah, you don't honestly, until it like decides to burst and leave you, you don't need to worry about it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, if you're like adjusting your trucks, checking your trucks, like just keep an eye on that and be like, oh yeah, are you in there? Yeah, you're good. So, yeah. And I mean, something I would, like something that's great to do if you ever, if you're changing cushions or you're changing wheels or you're playing around with stuff is like take apart your skates. Make sure you remember which parts go where so you can see the different parts. And the trucks are really fun. And you know what? We're just going to take apart my truck. And let's remember what
I
goes
wanted
back
to
up.
see this, but I wasn't.
That's why I should have brought the dental tool. You could have picked out your pivot cap.
Yeah.
Together, and then I took
Okay.
one picture and I don't remember.
So you've got your truck nut right here. You've got your kingpin. This is your kingpin. This one right here. You've got two kingpins. They stick into your plate. This pops out. Whee! Oh, there's my pivot cup.
Came right in?
It just came right out. Okay, I'll let you look at my pivot cup in a second. It sounds kind of like dirty. Okay, so it does look a little odd. So it's just this little cup like this, and a lot of them are black, so you won't see them like on your plates if they're black and black. And it's just like this little teeny tiny cup, and it fits in right here, so that when this little part here, this little bowl here on the pivot part of your truck is moving around, it isn't just like grinding metal on metal. Okay. But yeah, it can definitely, well, that's so funny. It just like popped up. Now it will come up. Anyway, well, I could probably just like pick it up. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, it just kind of sits right in there. And then, okay, so what do we got? So this, yeah, here you go. These are my trucks. They sit like that. My wheels attach. And then, oh, it's a nice one. And then, yeah, the cushions go around, right? They sit around in the metal part of the truck. And then, yeah, this guy comes, off like that. And then you've got washers on both ends. And then this is my kingpin. And I've seen people break kingpins before. It's quite hard to do, but you see it in derby a bit, right? Or skate park. But they're pretty solid. And then, yeah, they just go into the plate here. And then, yeah, that's basically how everything attaches. So it just all kind of like slides on. You got the pivot cup right in there and tighten it all up. And then you're good to go. And then, yeah, this doesn't come out. I mean, I guess you can get out.
Yeah,
Rolla
I think you have
tell
to
me.
take your boot off and then take the kingpins out.
Cool. Oh, something to check as well. If you are going to like play around and take your trucks off and do the cushions and stuff like that, if you're checking stuff, especially if you're checking the like pivot cups, check these little plates, nuts here. I had a fun time where I lost both of these on the back one. I lost both of my bolts.
So the truck
So
just
what are
came
ours?
detached?
Like, I've been so confused about how.
Oh yeah, there you go.
But like,
So yeah, I mean,
how
those are
would you
just-
get that out?
You wouldn't get that out. They
Oh.
stay in.
Okay.
I mean, I guess they're just kind of like hammered in or like, yeah, everything, like all the skates are different. They're probably, you know what? The nut might be on the inside. That might be what it is, like underneath the boot.
Yeah, these
Like-
ones are soldered or welded, it looks like.
Yeah.
You have a little bit.
Does that mean that
metal
this
on them.
plate couldn't be upgraded or it still could?
I think it still could. No, it definitely could. Yeah.
They would
like
just
the
drill
skate
it
shop
out
would
or
be able-
something.
Yeah.
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 Still would.
Yeah, they could get it off.
Side to make them loose or
Loose is to the left as you look at it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. But so funny story, you can actually like lose these little bolts that bolt your plate onto your boot. As I discovered, I was like skating outdoors once. I was like skating the trail in North Van. I was skating along, and I was like, "This is really weird. Why is it like weird on my heel?" And I realized that the plate was not attached to my boot anymore. And like literally, it was just like wobble, like it was literally like flapping. So I had to basically like plant one foot and only skate like this. the whole
Skateboard
way
home.
back.
Do you carry spares now?
No.
Oh,
No, it's not
I just
something
make
you can
sure
fix
to,
on the fly either.
no.
Like you got to bring it to the skate shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly.
No. So, but it's just like I had obviously lost one and didn't realize I'd lost one until I lost both of them. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, you can also see like on my skates, I had different plates on them. And I think I probably had I definitely had like nylon plates like those. And then, yeah, you can see where they were mounted on and they just like take them off, unscrew them and screw the other plates back in. Good question. Okay, so you would change your plates for weight. If you have heavy plates, if you have heavy metal plates, you can get lighter plates. You would change them for responsiveness. So nylon plates are great, which is the kind of plastic-looking plates that you often get. They are great because they're light and they're normally pretty durable. But they aren't quite as like responsive as like metal can be. Now, if you're going to go to a metal plate, what you want to look at is the metal plate will be more responsive, but it can be heavier. So if you want a like responsive light metal plate, you're going to pay for it because you're going to go for like aluminum or something like that. So yeah. Yeah, the stock plate is great, it's durable, it's wonderful, but yeah, it's yeah, totally.
Well,
So, yeah.
and you can get really expensive with plates. Like
Oh,
the fancy ones
my
at
God.
RollerCon, they bring the ones that are made out of the same thing as the space shuttle, and they're worth like $1,200. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carbon
What's
fiber.
RollerCon.
Oh,
Can you tell I'm 2 weeks in?
I love it.
Oh, we should do a workshop.
We should do a roller coaster. Oh my gosh. Okay, but there might have to be some certain things edited out of the roller coaster. RollerCon is an annual roller skating convention that happens in Las Vegas at the end of July every year. It is awesome.
It's
We
the
have been
best
for
time.
many years. There's roller skating, there's roller derby, there's skate park, there's theme parties every night, there's pool parties, there's all of the vendors are there, all of the manufacturers are there. It's really freaking fun. We should actually so before stupid COVID, we had a crew of like 10 or 12 of us, like all of the coaches were going to be going to RollerCon one year and like
2020.
2020.
Have a bus.
I know.
Yeah, that looks
So
like
like
a
we'll
roller
drive down to
skate.
Vegas.
Let's take the bus.
Could you imagine the bus coming back though? No. I'm not volunteering to drive that bus back from the depths of Las Vegas in summertime. And the crazy thing is like, so summertime, so it's super cheap. One of the reasons they do it there in the summertime is because flights and hotels are really cheap, but it is literally hotter than hell.
Oh my God.
So like you don't leave the like convention center, like you don't leave where it happens indoors because it's like you might die. Like yeah. So the RollerCon is very fabulous. Look it up. It's
Highly
a lot of
recommended.
fun.
Highly
It's a lot of
recommended.
fun. And also it's cool because like all of the like vendors are there, like all of the manufacturers, like Sure Grip and Rydell and like 187 Gear, and you can literally go and talk to them about like how their products are made, which is very cool. So yeah, it's very cool. RollerCon's very cool. How's everyone doing? You had a chance to like adjust and play and do the fun things? Yeah. Any more questions that I can answer? We're all good. Did everyone get like a little bit of like change? I know you changed your cushions.
Yeah,
You're happy?
Yeah, I'm super
Okay.
happy.
Sweet.
A lot of people say this change your stock cushion right away.
Yeah.
Like you said, the manufacturers
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
in that area.
And it's also like it's easy. It's not expensive. Like yeah, literally as you saw, like you just take off the truck and then you just like it's really pretty easy to like put them back on. Yeah. Totally. Awesome.
I was surprised when I came by.
Oh really? Yeah.
They were just so hard and gray.
Yeah. Probably.
I remember the
They,
first time.
they were not doing this
Yeah,
for you.
but
There
I
was no
also
pressing and
just
flexing.
wanna buy new
They were
clothes
like
all the
this. They were like, no.
My
I'm
butterfly
done."
wings shipped, so they're coming. I'm super excited.
Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely. Just play around with them. Okay, before we go, can I turn my computer around and we all say hi down this end? So I don't know, but you know what?
There was 3 at one point.
Okay, we're
At
gonna say
one
hi.
point, we
We're
had
gonna
at
say
least
hi.
3.
Say hi to the world. Awesome. Sweet. I know, exactly. All right.
Wobbling around.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, everyone. This has been fun.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. And